My name is Adam Manuel, and in this video I'm going to briefly discuss the question of why is Western civilization relevant today, or is it? I feel that it is in fact relevant today. Uh, we it's it's hard to actually define what is Western civilization. All of our authors this week gave their best, and there's a variety of answers which I don't have time to go over. However, I'm going to put forth the idea that Western civilization is not so much the idea that the Greeks started history and then it followed a certain line or whatever like that many of the authors were this week have been talking about. I feel that Western civilization is really the history of all of us. I mean, the Arabic, the Middle Eastern people contributed just as much as the Greeks, Romans, Italians, Africans, whoever, Asians, Chinese. They have all contributed to what we view as society in general. So now if you think about Western civilization, yes, that kind of gives a limiting factor to who we're looking at. Perhaps if we could be so bold, we can maybe change it from Western civilization to world civilization or something like that, because it's not just the West that contributed to modern society, but every civilization throughout history has contributed in some way. So that's why I feel it's one reason I feel it's relevant. And if you look at the complaints about many of the people who say that we need to get rid of the idea of Western civilization, such as Appiah and Birkin from our readings of this week, you come up with the ideas that it does not fit into a modern worldview. It's not a complete history or not complete telling of everything. And it's hard to get everything in a classroom setting or to discuss it in that way, which have their valid points. I mean, if you look at ancient history, in general, you have wars that killed thousands, millions of people. You have genocides, you have rapes, you have slavery as the biggest issue that a lot of people say we need to stop talking about this because it's slavery and it's bad, which is yes, slavery is a bad issue. However, if you look at the contrasting view of the other readings this week, such as Royal and Berzer, they state that yes, these are terrible situations. However, we need to look above the bad stuff. Yes, it happened, but we need to rise above it and use it as a motivation to do something better in the future of our civilization, the human civilization. So you need art, culture, math and sciences and language, literature. All these things are wonderful contributions from these people in the past that we as a society today have built upon and are building on. Our children and our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren will build upon this even more. I feel that Western civilization is not a set, concrete idea such as a law of thermodynamics, gravity, something like that. It is a abstract idea, really, that has been adapted and changed throughout the centuries and eons and all that stuff from the very beginning of recording of history. So obviously the people of ancient Greek times would have recorded their history as they saw it. And now we, 2,000 years later, are trying to interpret it based upon our views. We need to stop trying to put our own modern spin on history when we are trying to understand it, but try to also understand it in their perspective, because that is really a gateway into understanding their world, not trying to understand it from our perspective. However, I feel that if we look at Western civilization, it is not pretty all the time, but no one's history, no matter where you go in this world, no civilization on this planet has had a perfect history. So we need to stop trying to hide from our pasts, accept them, maybe not even accept them, but use them as motivation to improve ourselves for the future. Thank you for listening to my video, and I hope you enjoy it. I look forward to hearing your responses.